noticed that you had the basket in there a lot in the second half. Is Garcon okay, or did you just want to take a long look at the basket?
No, Garcon was slow just a little bit, but we're not quite certain of the seriousness of it. That's one of the reasons why we had Hank in there. He had a little problem with his hand, but not quite certain the extent of it.
I'm sure you're happy with the win last night, but would it make it easier, personnel decisions going forward, to be 13-1 right now instead of 14-0?
No, I kind of like where we are, I think there are oftentimes complexities arise when you're doing well, and we'll take those and deal with them as we go.
How much time are you going to take to decide how you're going to handle the same type of all these questions we're going to be getting about the Jets?
Last week was a little different because I had to make it a little quicker because I had less time. It was a short week. I got a little bit more time this week. As a matter of fact, we're going to try to enjoy the weekend, kind of assess where we are, in particular looking at our injury situation. That won't completely clear itself up for a few days, so when it does, then we'll kind of look at that and make a decision.
For all these weeks leading up to this, you've been saying, well, we've been here before, we've been here before. We haven't been 14-0 before. Does that change anything? I mean, perspective, anything at all?
The short answer is no.
Have you had a chance to look at the game tape and look at how the defense played? I'm not saying it took a step back, but Jacksonville did a pretty good job moving the ball.
Well, it was one of those things where we're facing a great back, and that ran the ball extremely well. 110 yards. We didn't do as good a job as we're capable of doing. We didn't play as well from a gap control standpoint. We didn't tackle nearly as well. But that's going to happen sometimes. We certainly wouldn't like it to happen that way, but it did. But they stiffened in the fourth quarter. Did a nice job in terms of making certain they didn't get in the end zone. Did a great job, just all around in terms of hustle and effort, obviously. But our defense, one week we have maybe one of the best performances I've seen around here in a long time. And the next week we didn't play quite as well. So that gives us something to work on, something to try to improve upon for this next week.
Maybe you can talk about Chad Simpson's kickoff return.
That was big. Obviously that was one area. I think when you look at us overall, that if you say there was an area in our special teams that needed some improvement, it was our return game. And that came at a real, an opportune time because of the fact that we were down. It seemed like Jacksonville had a pretty good roll going at that time, and for him to be able to take that thing back and put it in the end zone was huge. We haven't had one, in a few years, I guess since 2004. So guys blocked well, and he did what he was supposed to do.
What do you think about Chad running up the tunnel?
I really didn't realize that until I saw the highlights when I got back home early this morning. So, I'm certain there may be a league issue with that possibly, but everybody has their own way of celebrating. But we also have to stay within the confines of the rules, otherwise you get fined in this league. So.